Hey guys, in this video I will be explaining the basic camera settings. To learn the most basic settings of a camera, you have to first know how a photo is taken. A photo is only possible when light enters through the aperture and strikes the camera film or an image sensor. Without any light, photo cannot be taken. In a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, the role of ISO, aperture and shutter speed determines how a photo is taken while manipulating the light that enters the camera. In this video I will be briefly explaining what is ISO. In the most simplest words, ISO is brightness. That's the very short explanation to it. But let's take a deep look into it to understand how it functions. So when photon or light enters the camera body and touches the camera film, the ISO is the sensitivity of the photons to the film. The higher the number of ISO, the more sensitive it is, and it results in more brightness and more grain in the image. ISO is generally measured in terms of hundreds, like 100, 200, 600 etc. But modern cameras have ISO which can be anything in between. But things are a bit different for a DSLR. As there is no physical film, the sensitivity of the film does not play a part here. An image sensor uses the intensity of photons hitting it to recreate the image. So in a DSLR, it is not the sensitivity but applied gain. Gain signifies the increasing of the brightness of an image after it has been captured. For example, when you set the ISO to a value of 200, the camera still records the image at a base ISO of 100. When the image is recorded, the gain is applied to boost the brightness by a factor of 2. The ISO increase occurs at the cost of details, sharpness, and dynamic range. This part of ISO remains the constant in both film and digital photography because increasing the ISO has always come at a cost. Here, look in the video how the image brightness changes as we change the ISO settings of the camera. A small details I would like to mention here is that, unlike in a film camera where higher ISO results in grain, a digital camera gets noise with higher ISO. Both are distinct and exclusive to their respective cameras. I would suggest you to play around with the ISO settings and use the camera at night times, when the role of ISO becomes very important because generally there is insufficient light to take a picture. There are a lot of other aspects to ISO, like exposed to the right or exposed to the left, and which ISO settings are best for different scenarios like sunset, astrophotography, artificial lighting etc. But those are more advanced lessons, which you as a beginner need not worry about that right now. Practice taking pictures in different lighting conditions while at the same time adjusting your ISO. Remember that noise from your DSLR is not always a bad thing. Even though a higher ISO is deemed as a con due to the increase in noise in the photo, the noise can be used as a pro by making the photo look a vintage photograph. Some photographers out there purposely bump up their ISO to generate noise in their image to resemblance a certain distinct look and feel to their image. It is up to you how you manage your ISO. So there you go, this was a short and simple explanation for ISO. If you have any queries and comments, please leave your comments down below. Share the video with your friends. So that is it for today, hope you liked it. See you in the next one.